Федор очень рекомендовал вас
From a safe, documents are produced that relate to the films and tapes the dealer has promised to deliver. After an inspection of the documents and a cursory verification of their authenticity, the transaction is completed.
Okay, well, thank you. Спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
Nice to meet you.
Дмитрий Сергеевич, спасибо за вашу работу.
Money changes hands, and the tense group is led to another office where the films and tapes are said to be stored. And finally, the graphic films, tapes, and documents we'd heard about surfaced. In a startling revelation within the classified documents we obtain, we find proof that the Illuminati infiltrated the Soviet Union and the KGB. These communiques between two high-level KGB agents actually refer to the original illuminated one, Adam Weishaupt, by name. They go on to allude to a connection with two past rulers of Russia, Joseph Stalin and Nikita Khrushchev. Our mission to place agents within the walls of the Vatican is a goal that the founder Weishaupt talked about 200 years ago. It is something that has been attempted through the years by both Stalin and Khrushchev with no success, but I believe we can finally do it this time. What's more, in the lab our investigators made an alarming discovery. A magnified view reveals that an unnoticeable dot, the period at the end of the final sentence on the page, is actually a seal. It is the unfinished pyramid with an iron triangle above it. The official insignia of the Illuminati, a marking used by the secret society since its creation in 1776. The KGB was determined to infiltrate the Vatican. Why would this of all places be of such critical interest to the Russians? The answer is simple. The Russians would have no interest in the Vatican, but the Illuminati would. Not only would it further the vendetta against the Catholics, but it would be important for the greater purpose of gaining control of the world. The Vatican may be the most powerful force on the planet for influencing people. Policies dictated by the Vatican affect 1 billion people spread across the globe on every continent, in comparison to less than 300 million under the direct influence of the US or the former USSR. Reigning at the top of this vast empire of followers is one man, the Pope, whose words and wishes are considered by his followers to have divine inspiration. No other person on earth has such extraordinary power and influence. The Illuminati would have a great interest in exerting whatever influence they could on the Pope and his advisors. The KGB had a staff of agents permanently assigned to Rome. But the Vatican City exists as a very closed world, an officially recognized independent state with its own government. In effect, it is a sovereign state existing within the city of Rome. Surveillance of it from the outside is very incomplete. From more secret KGB documents we have obtained, we learn that in 1972 the Illuminati, using the people they had in the KGB, formulated a bold plan to position one of their people within the walls of the Vatican. Again, the period at the end of the final sentence on the document is actually the miniature pyramid and eye, the official insignia of the Illuminati. At last, the secret brotherhood could begin to control the Catholic Church from the inside. An agent was sent to the Vatican posing as a Ukrainian priest, driven from his country by the communists for anti-communist rhetoric. He was quickly accepted by the pro-American Vatican clergy. After only a few months, he achieved his primary objective, gaining the confidence of the office of Cardinal Vilo, the Secretary of State of Pope Paul VI. In this exclusive KGB film footage we obtained, on the right is the agent posing as a priest. On the left is the chief assistant to Cardinal Vilo.
Devo tornare all'ufficio, devo fare cose lì e tutto il resto. Non è proprio probabile, spero che... Ecco che arriva. Buongiorno.
The third man is actually another KGB agent, no doubt placed in the organization by the Illuminati. He is also seeking to gain access to the Cardinal.
Sì, questo va bene. Bene, molto lì. Bravo, fatti scemo. Abbiamo la sua sì. Bene. Dico, chiediamo a molta considerazione di questo. Sappiamo quanto importante è per noi.
When Vilo's assistant is sent on his customary monthly trip to Milan, the KGB installs a camera in his hotel room. In typical KGB fashion, the priest is about to be set up to be blackmailed to assure his continued cooperation. Over several days, a woman becomes friendly with him and gains his trust. The film shows that the trap was well set. One night, the woman comes to his room to take him to a dinner meeting.
Ho soltanto del buon vino rosso per dirci
While he is briefly away pouring drinks, she takes off her blouse. The film ends abruptly. But no matter what the outcome of the encounter was, the brief shot of this priest with a half-dressed woman in his room is damaging enough to guarantee his future assistance in the surveillance of Vilo's activities. Certainly in the near future, the Illuminati-controlled KGB agents will begin looking for ways to manipulate Vilo himself. Once that is accomplished, they will be extremely close to the very heart of the Catholic religion, Pope Paul VI. But it appears that the Illuminati was not content with exerting only influence to control the Vatican. They sometimes resorted to murder. Since the founding of the Illuminati, a number of officials have died at the Vatican under highly suspicious circumstances, including 3 popes. In each case, the death of the official was timed so as to have a great political significance, the telltale mark of the secret brotherhood influencing world politics for their benefit. In 1939, Pope Pius XI was poised to release a statement condemning both the Nazis and the fascists, groups doing the kind of evil that the Illuminati would be behind. But before he could make the public statement, he suddenly died. A close assistant, Cardinal Tisserand, was heard to repeat again and again in French, "They have assassinated him! They have assassinated him!" His body was quickly embalmed, making an autopsy and proof of cause of death impossible. In 1978, it seemed the secret brotherhood might again be using murder to manipulate the papacy. Paul VI suddenly died. Admittedly, he was frail, but the sudden worsening of his condition seemed all too convenient to many observers. However, this time, the Illuminati architects got a result they probably were not expecting: a pope who would be at odds with them, John Paul I. Almost immediately after he took office, the new pope showed a great deal of independence. It seemed that John Paul had a special distaste